Generations, kids learn what their parents teach them. Oh, it's not like we all grow up in America speaking English. An entire generation grows up speaking Swahili. That's not how it works. We speak English because you fucking guys speak English. When the teachers put him in anger management, like just think about that for a second, right? Kids come up to you and bully you, and then you fight back. And then they stick your ass in anger management. Where the fuck is his lawyer? Abandonment. It's not fair. And it's not right. And then the kid gets labeled with anger management problems. It's an illness. It's a neurochemical imbalance in your brain. You have anger management problems. You're just broken in here, man. It's not your fault, but you're just fucking broken. And the normal kids are over here. So learn how to manage your feelings. We're going to teach you some useful skills. Fine, there's some useful skills. I'm not saying anger management is bad. But I'm saying that like we're doing something very, very dangerous by protocolizing and pathologizing a lot of normal experience. We're absolving ourselves of responsibility. Right? I still remember I talked about this with Anita that, you know, it's kind of bizarre, but I was working with a guy who was in jail. And the reason he was in jail is because he started selling drugs at the age of 16 because his 3 older sisters said that what a man does is provide. And you have to provide for your older sisters, otherwise you're not a man. So how the fuck does a 16-year-old provide for 3 adult women? He sells drugs. And then he gets suicidal. And then I come in and I talk to him. And like I talked to him for a while and I realized, man, this guy is so fucked. A pill is not going to fix this. This is not a neurochemical. Like, sure, is there a neurochemical balance? Absolutely. Will a medication help him? But is it going to fix it? No. This guy needs to understand that, like, you know, he was not taught that adult, like 16-year-old boys should not be financially responsible for 3 adults. And you think about this, you go back to Anita and you just think about what she was taught. She loves her mother, and her mother sounds like she had very serious challenges, and we're not going to blame her for that. And at the same time, what was Anita taught? What were we taught? Why are kids mean? Because they're taught to be mean. What were you guys taught? How were you taught? Every fucking time you go fishing in the bathtub, you're taught, and then like society looks at you, your parents like, why haven't you graduated yet? Like, why did you fail out of college? Like, why don't you have a job? Why haven't you moved out? Fucking boomers are like, these kids nowadays, like, they're not buying rings and they're not buying houses and they don't know how to work. Like, what the fuck, man? Why do you think that is? Where do you think we learned how to be lazy? Oh yeah, we learned it from the boomer generation because they had everything handed to them. Bizarre. You think maybe instead of us being an entire generation, it's an entire generation, right? You think like maybe an entire generation just learned the same fucking lesson, which is completely the opposite of what the generation before us learned? It's just like we went 180? No. Generations, kids learn what their parents teach them. Oh, it's not like we all grow up in America speaking English. An entire generation grows up speaking Swahili. That's not how it works. We speak English because you fucking guys speak English. We were taught our values because you guys taught it to us. And the world is a different place, and that formula doesn't work anymore. But no, oh, it's mental illness. Oh, mental illness. Yeah, just absolve yourselves of all responsibility. Fucking mental illness. So yeah, I mean, once again, don't get me wrong. Mental illness is real. I think we should treat it seriously. I think if you guys are feeling suicidal, you should get help. But also cut yourself a break because you're not broken in here. The reason that you feel that way is completely legitimate. And if you've been struggling for a while, those struggles are real. And if you feel like you're in despair, that's not your fault, it's our fault. Because life is a multiplayer game, boys and girls. It's a multiplayer game. Twitch is a multiplayer platform. It's all fucking multiplayer. So how can you blame yourself? Like, sure, should you do more? Absolutely. But it's a fucking multiplayer game. So get the help that you need. And more importantly, help out the person that needs it. Right? Ask the question that like people aren't willing to ask. If you ask someone, how are you doing today? Like actually look them in the eye and be like, how are you actually doing today? Let that question mean something. And AoE healing is not about like me, spraying AoE on all of you guys. I mean, it is. But like what AoE healing is really about, I think if you really look at it deeply, it's about like you guys becoming healers too. I mean, all you have to do to become a healer is like fix yourself. And then it'll come naturally. Like just fix yourselves. I mean, just fix yourselves. Just fix yourself. Millennial? Fucking boomers? Fix yourself. Just, yeah. Well, I'm saying like all you have to do is fix yourself. Focus on yourself. Let you be your karma. Let you be your focus. You can come first. Stop fucking putting other people first. Right? I'm talking to Anita. You can come first sometimes. Like 10% of the time, you can come first. You can come first. And you should come first, right? Because like you're a fucking entitled millennial Gen Z TikTok, YouTube, Twitch person. You're your special snowflake. Like it's so weird. Like I mean, I'm all for special snowflakes and that people can be narcissistic, but at the same time, like, let's just think about this for a second. We're essentially like telling a generation of people that they should grow the fuck up. No, like take yourself seriously, like accept responsibility for what you do right and accept responsibility for what you do wrong. And don't take responsibility for what other people do wrong. Just because someone calls you a special snowflake doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Like, should you be narcissistic? Absolutely not. Should you focus on yourself? Absolutely. Should you give yourself the credit that you're worth? Absolutely. Anyway,